Today we're bringing you back another Hey Coach video. We're bringing back the Hey Coach video series because you guys are sending me DMs and I really appreciate it. In today's video we are answering a question from this gentleman asking about losing roughly 40 pounds of fat. Does it even matter as long as you're in a calorie deficit? Let's dive into the video. Question of the day is, hey coach, got a question for the Hey Coach series. For the average overweight individual just trying to lose 40 pounds or so, are macros really that important? And by that I mean if one hits their protein target, does it really matter where their fats and carbs lock in as long as you're hitting your calorie target as well? And I'm also referring to eating high quality food. So he understands he's not trying to eat processed foods and a bunch of junk food and stuff like that. Does it really matter? So what I want to do real quick is highlight a couple of things. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my old whiteboard in here. So the number one thing that we need here is some level of consistency, all right? Which is why I believe most coaches would really say consistency is going to be king when we're talking about helping somebody oxidize body fat and keep them on a consistent plan. Now for somebody that wants to lose 40 pounds, right, ideally they do need to be in a calorie deficit, right? Excuse my writing, but they need to be in a calorie deficit in order to do that. Now, number one, you have to make sure that the individual is healthy enough to oxidize body fat, and if they are 40 to 50 pounds of fat overweight, helping them lose some body fat is actually going to improve their health tremendously. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this, okay? Now, if an individual decided that they said, the macros don't actually matter at all. I can just, one day I can eat 20 grams of fat and 300 carbs. The next day I can eat 120 grams of fat and 20 grams of carbohydrates as long as the calories are equated. I don't believe that to be true. Now, number one is because I think what you're actually doing there is you're trying to actually cheat the system. So I want to tell you a story of many years ago when I said, hey, as long as the calories are equated, I don't mind. I think this was 2013 or 14, so it was almost 10 years ago. And I told people, if you mess up one day, it's okay. Just kind of fix it the next day. But what I noticed was people were actually starting to try to cheat the system. And so what I don't want to have happen is for you to try to cheat the system as long as in theory you're in this calorie restricted state, okay? What I would rather do is have consistency over the course of time to make sure that, let's just say, if you're eating 60 grams of fat, 150 carbs, and 150 protein, that you're consistent with this, okay? And then when you maybe get tired of your calorie deficit, you go ahead, come over here, and you have a high day. Maybe you have a high day every single week. And maybe you just go ahead and keep the fat the same, you bump the carbs up to 250, and you keep the protein the same, and now you're just doing this on basically a 1-to-6 carb cycling ratio. Now, if you are somebody that needs to lose 40 or 50 pounds, I think it's really important to actually plan this out. You see, the number one reason why people actually fail at weight loss is mainly because they didn't plan out or timeline the fat loss very well. And they don't plan for the end in the beginning. They go super duper aggressive. They try to lose as much fat as they can as fast as possible because they're trying to get that kind of reward to them. The harder I work, the faster I'm going to lose it and then I'm going to be fine. But the reality is the harder you work and the faster you lose it, normally that pendulum is going to come swinging back in the opposite direction, right? So we would rather kind of massage fat loss off, take our time with it, okay, versus just trying to chop it off as fast as possible. Because the reality is that if you do this too aggressively, you're going to compromise your metabolism. You're going to compromise your thyroid, you're going to compromise your sex hormones, and you're going to be put in a position where you're suffering from something called metabolic adaptation, in which if you want to go to my Instagram, it's at William_Grazione. I talk a lot about metabolic adaptation, and I am going to be bringing a lot more of that information here to YouTube. But for the sake of this question, this individual's got 40 to 50 pounds of fat to lose. So is he really going to be worried about metabolic adaptation in the beginning? Probably not. But as he gets leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner, he's going to need to be more focused on metabolic adaptation because you can only push the body so hard before energy availability becomes so low that your body actually starts to resist the fat loss. Now let's talk fat loss strategy for a second. If you got 40 pounds to lose, okay, now you could kind of do that in one shot, right? Or you could break that down into 10 by 4, which still gives you 40 pounds, right? Now, I would much rather take a 10 pounds, 4 sets approach. What I mean by that is if any of you have ever watched any of my videos, you guys know I talk a lot and I talk extensively about diet breaks. I think I was one of the first coaches to ever make a video about diet breaks back in 2015, and that was 8.5 years ago now, right? And think about how a diet break would fit so well into a strategy like this. Mainly, number one, because the diet break is going to help with the health of the metabolism. It's going to help with anaerobic exercise in the gym. Whenever you're in the gym lifting weights, you're using glucose to be able to do that. And so what we really want to do is you want to say, let's lose 10 pounds, right? And then let's use a diet break, okay? Let's lose 10 pounds, and then let's take a diet break, right? And then 10 pounds, diet break. And in lieu of doing this, you are doing and accomplishing the same thing. Granted, it may take more time, but the metabolism that you're saving doing this is your own. So you can choose to go 40 pounds in one shot, but you're probably going to have to face eventually feeling like crap, having tracking fatigue, low energy, and then your hormones will begin to be compromised once this 40 pounds probably comes to an end and you begin to get pretty lean. I'd say probably anything under maybe 10 to 15% body fat, you may begin to experience some level of metabolic adaptation. So choosing to diet smarter, in my opinion, is a much better way to go about this process. So I really hope that that helps answer your question in today's Hey Coach video. And we are accepting DMs right now on my Instagram at William_Grazione, and I will show up here just like this with my home gym here in the back, and I will answer your questions related to fat loss, building muscle, metabolism, hormones, whatever you guys got. So please do me a favor, go ahead, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all, God bless you, and we'll see you in the next Hey Coach video. Peace.